So here, Terry has also come. So we will start. So Saturday's session is all about understanding, moving into higher awareness. We listen and learn from a teacher to move from ignorance to wisdom. But when we are moving to wisdom, many doubts are left. So, what to do? We have to contemplate and reflect in order to remove those doubts. So, what happens when the doubts are removed? There is a conviction that I am the real self. Teacher says you are the real self. Until you say that I am the real self, nothing will happen. So you see that all the time the doubts are there. Okay, you told me I'm a real self. It's okay. I will think it over later. I have a lot of things to do. That is lane number one. So, so that causes it. And the third one, the word is known as nididhyasan. So it's a constant awareness of the real self beyond doubt, removes the false notion. So when the mind moves to the right notion, and then Ashok was asking a question that you are wearing a red sweater. So where it comes, lane number one and two, it do not come either in the lane number one and two. I am wearing a sweater. I still have a doubt that I am the body. I did not contemplate and reflect. So I told him it doesn't come into any lane. So you see the doubt and the false notion. So this is the false notion that I relate myself to the matter, that I am still the matter, I am not the real. Samjhe, pyare Ashok. So, dear Ashok, did you understand that? Now, with reference to this, I am conscious of Brandy, I'm conscious of Ashok, I'm conscious of Stephen, the same way that Stephen is conscious of this guy, Brandy is conscious. It means I'm consciousness. No, I am the body. Who says? Does the body says you that you are consciousness? No. Why you say it? Why you say? Sam, why you say that you are the body? Body pricks you every day in the morning that you are the body? You don't understand my problem. What is that? That is a doubt. That is the problem. That is why a constant listen. Let us talk about the body. Body contains trillions of cells. First thing that when you say that I am the body is a shape in the form. Who has a shape in the form is false. How can you say that, sir? I'm living with my body. And when body has a pain, then I realize that I'm the body. My friends, remember, anything which has a name and the form and the name and the shape is false. What is happening into the mind? Doubt. So in order to remove that doubt, we have to do contemplation and reflection. What happens in contemplation and reflection? We want to know the ultimate cause. What is the cause of the body? Cause of the body is trillions of cells. Am I clear? Do you have a doubt? You may talk to me that I'm not the body, but I'm feeling pain in the body. I'm the body. So the problem still remains. How many times you have to listen? Millions of times until the doubt is gone, until your mind is ready to contemplate and reflect. No, no, go ahead. So when you say I'm the body, body has a name in the form. Anything visible, anything, any person which has a name in the form is false. What is the definition of the false? That appears true is not true. The body appears true with a particular shape, contains trillions of cells. Does any cell has a shape like the body? No. So you have removed that false notion. No, no, but what about the cell? So I can say that I am the cell, but the cell also consists of millions of parts. Do you know that? Every cell, mitochondria and nucleus. I read, more than 40 years ago. I forgot that. So even the cell consists of the parts. No, no, you don't understand. Basically, ultimately, it is a matter, and the matter is energy. Hold on. Does the energy has a shape? So we prove that this body, which appears true, is not true. So science stops here. Everything is energy. What we say? This energy is nothing but the consciousness force. Why? Why it is a consciousness force? Why it is a consciousness? Consciousness is knowledge, it is intelligence. Consciousness is a intelligent, it is a knowledge that intelligently, that consciousness intelligently put this energy together, which is called the body. So what is the ultimate cause? Consciousness. Hence I am consciousness. Mindfulness is done. So I am consciousness. Tell me if there is any flaw in what I spoke. I am consciousness. I am consciousness. So what prevents me to realize that? I told you, wrong notion, doubt, ignorance. If the person has never heard that there is a real self and there is a false self, how can you start the inquiry? Then I take what I am. I am stressed. I'm into anxiety. I'm suffering. Please be sympathetic to me. So sympathy adds more false notions in your life. You don't understand how long I have been suffering. Like only the existence gives you the suffering, no one else. And to whom it gives the suffering? To the body, to the mind. I am conscious, so I am consciousness. But the doubt and the false notion returns to the mind after the session. I am the body only. Until the session ends, I am the consciousness. So there is a false notion, there is a doubt that continues in our life. 23 hours, I am the body, I am the mind. 1 hour, I am conscious. So find out which one is true. So mind says 23 hours, I am the body and the mind. So that should be true. You don't raise the doubt. You don't create You have created a false notion. Then you say, beer guy is okay. I love him, but that's okay. But 23 hours I'm the body and the mind. So that's why I'm suffering. So this master in the first 18 verses, I have repeated couple of times, he summarizes the whole teaching. And then what happens? Then he goes on pricking our mind. He says, here is you have a doubt, remove this doubt. Here you have a false notion, remove that false notion. And once you remove all the false notion and the doubt, ultimately you reach to that state. So once we recognize this false notion, take an example. When I say, hi, Stephen, hi, David, hi, Brandy, what happens? Do you see what happens to the mind? My mind, it is deeply associated with the name. I become attentive. If my name is Stephen, if my name is David, I instantly become Stephen. And the moment I say, no, 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 it is you are Stephen number one, I'm talking to two. Your mind again sleeps. We are so much habitual, instinctive, and impulsive that we rely on the name and the form. I've already explained name and the form. So by constant listening and learning, we remove the ignorance. Second step, contemplation and reflection removes the doubt. And the third step is to remove the false notion I have to live into that state. So it means that 1 hour should be extended to 23 hours. Not 21 after an hour you will return to the same lifestyle. No, it will not work. This is what the master is saying. So now once we have understood this, then what exactly is the ultimate goal? Your mind reminds, oh, I have to know who am I. It means there is a real self and there is a false self. One master, I remember my master asked me to go and meet him in the cottage. A small cottage at the bank of the Ganges River. And what were his property? Just a small cottage, two pairs of clothes, and one book. This book. So he was alone in reading that book aloud, loudly. So when I went there and he welcomed and he said, you see, that every verse in this book is praising about me. That is why I'm reading aloud. Me means I'm the real self. You see, total identification. You are already there. You can find out, and outside, two pairs of the clothes he had in that small cottage. And every day he used to come to my master's monastery and he used to take the food and finished. So he said, I'm not reading the book because I want to know, but I'm so happy because this book is talking about me in every verse. That is the journey of the Eastern wisdom. When the mind recognizes After removing the doubt and the false notion, we are settled into the real self. When? All the time. In which location? All the location. In which situation? In all the situation. This is what this master is talking about. But if we are not ready to reach to that highest state of the consciousness, it is only because one is the ignorance, second is the doubt. I have a doubt about the real self, and I have a clear conviction about the false self. Plus, I carry forward the same false notion. So, in the last session on Thursday, perhaps Thursday, I talked about I have to hold on to that knowledge until the doubt is gone, until the false notion is gone. So, how to hold on? Like a baby monkey. I believe you have understood what exactly the baby monkey. Baby monkey holds on to the back of the mother, never leaves, neither on the tree nor on the ground. Baby cat lives unconsciously. That is known as the comfort zone in modern times. Do you see? Look at this, compare it. Baby cat mother says, okay, I will lift you and move from one place to the other until you are ready to walk. This will not work. So, what happens? Even during the journey, when we continue, we want to understand, we keep on removing the doubt, it changes our behavior, attitude. It brings a sense of calmness, as Ashok has shared. Now you see how the mind drops. Why you are not saying about me? You are only talking about Ashok. I just give an example. Why should I talk about everyone? Keep your mind free. The change in behavior and attitude, calmness, and the peace comes naturally. Power of discernment. That power of discernment does not only work in my journey to awakening, but it also works in my personal and professional life. And that results into dispassion. Dispassion means I have a conviction that I'm the real self, I'm the consciousness. With that background, now remember the same, we have to yet to complete the 18 verses. So today I'm covering all the 15, 16, and 17th verse. Remember the metaphor, pure consciousness, canvas, starched, is the beginning of a creation. It is a causal body, not casual body, causal body, which becomes the cause of creation of the mind. It is the subtle body. On that subtle body, the entire world exists. I, you, he, me, my house, your house, my car, my relations, and the entire world of matter, solar system. Third is the subtle body, and the fourth on which it means the mind and the world are the same. We have to transcend the mind, that is, we know, is the mindfulness. So it is a superimposition. That consciousness, nothing happens to the consciousness. Superimposition. It is like, something you can, you have, you lit a lamp and then you cover it with a big bowl or a big box. So you you see maybe a, little transparent or a opaque. So first that opaque part over the lamp is the superimposition. Nothing happens to the lamp. Nothing happens to the light. Then you have a second layer. The third layer is the world. So we have to differentiate by understanding what I am and what I am not. So this entire, every text has explained differently, but this one, now see the another, I would say, a trick used by this master. This is Ashok, this is Stephen, this is screen monitor, this is the wall, this is the light, this is the fan, this is my table, this is my mouse. I do not refer this to I. So the masters have coined the two beautiful words. First is known as idam. Idam means this. And ahem. Ahem means I am. So I am and I am not. Start the inquiry. Start thinking. That becomes the contemplation and reflection. Ahem and idam. Ahem means this. And aham means I am. So when I see you and I say this is Ashok, my mind refers to the body, name and the form, and the name and the form is a matter. So in fact, all this reference refers to the matter. Do I see your consciousness? No. Do you see that? No, we all are human beings. That's a good gossip. We all are human beings. Whatever I see through my sense organs and the mind is only the matter. Just look at it. Whether you look at elephant or whether you look at the skyscraper, you are looking at the name and the form. So we miss this point. So the moment you refer this, that is a false. What is the false? That appears true and it is not true. Why that appears true is not true. Body, I'm looking at your body, I'm looking at your name. So that is constantly changing. Whatever is changing, that is not independent, that appears true, but it is not true, is a false. So when we remove that false notion from the mind inside, don't start thinking I will remove Ashok and then I will realize real self. No, it has to remove the name in the form. Normally we have some misplaced notions. So when I remove from my mind the craziness, this name in the form, then what happens? I am consciousness. Consciousness is all pervading. So there is neither Ashok nor this body with the name in the form. That is how I realize consciousness is all pervading. There cannot be two consciousnesses. There is only one consciousness. That is the meaning of living, from living in a moment. So in order to do that, I have discussed in detail to negate. I have to negate what is mithya, what is false. I will continue to talk with Ashok with the name in the form, but deeper inside the mind, there is a clarity. Name in the form is different, is not true. So negation means that I constantly continue to drop what is false until I reach to a point where I cannot negate. There is something remainder, not reminder. There is something remains that cannot be negated. What cannot be negated? I am. What is this I am? I am consciousness. That is why the master says I have to continue to contemplate and reflect until until I reach to a point which cannot be negated. Means which cannot be recognized as this. This is the body. I said this is Ashok, this is Stephen. Okay, now this is the body. Negated. If it is this is the breath. Yes. This is the mind. Yes. This is the thought. Yes. This is the ego. Even I can recognize the ego. This is ego. This is the thought. But can I negate I am? I cannot. So what is the remainder is the real self. That is why we have to follow the process of negation. Negation does not mean that we we suppress and we reject and no, we crush. No. Just in our head, in the knowledge point, in the field of awareness, I keep on negating, dropping what is this until I reach to a point I cannot negate it. I cannot, I am cannot be negated. So that remainder we discover is nothing but the consciousness. And that consciousness is the real self. Why we say it is a pure consciousness? Now all the superimpositions, 3 superimpositions in a metaphor are gone. I recognize that consciousness, independent, all-pervading, full of knowledge. And I told you, the knowledge in the very beginning I am conscious of Vaibhav, I am conscious of Brandy, so you are conscious of this guy. If consciousness is not there, you cannot become conscious of it. Or you rephrase it, I know you. The moment I say I know you is because of consciousness, not because of the matter. No, but I am the body. I am the body, yes. I am the body. So there the principle comes of mithya. I have to first recognize if I said I am the body, body consists of trillions of the cells. Anything that can be divided, that falls apart, cannot be me. Body contains trillions of the cells. Okay, then one tiny cell I am. One tiny cell. The cell also contains different parts. I cannot be a single cell. Okay, but what about the energy? Every cell is just nothing but energy. What the science says, the matter is nothing but energy. Very good. We love your argument and reasoning, but that energy. Now see what over say. That energy means trillions of energy parts intelligently put together created the body. Who put that intelligence? Consciousness. So it is the energy consciousness. So in Eastern wisdom, we say that invisible consciousness force, that invisible One is visible matter in the form of energy, but that invisible energy has the consciousness, we say consciousness force. That consciousness force has created the causal body, the subtle body, and the entire body. So, what is the ultimate cause? Ultimate cause is the consciousness. Who is this consciousness? I have kept my consciousness in my box. I will use it later. And that creates the false notion and the doubt. And then we live in ignorance. Then we continue to suffer. That is why you might have heard many times the mantra Satuma Satgamaya. Moving from the false to the real is the journey of the Eastern wisdom. Moving from the ignorance to wisdom is the journey. So what happens? Because consciousness never dies. So I move from the mortality to immortality. That is the ultimate goal of mindfulness or meditation. Let us close our eyes. We will, again, I'm repeating, we will do non-practice. Eyes are closed. Settle your body. No, not settle your body. Comfort. You settle in a comfort. So I didn't. When I said settle the body, it means I'm wrong. When I say settle into the comfort with awareness, what it means? When I say settle into your home, home already existed. The comfort already exists. I become aware. So I feel the discomfort. Why? It is a false notion. How it has come from the body and the mind. Why it has come from the body and the mind? Because I I feel I'm the body and the mind. What the consciousness should do when you do not speak, that's the wrong question. It is always available. What the consciousness should do, nothing. It has nothing to do, it never does anything. It is the mind asking the question. And the simple answer, just live in that awareness of the comfort. It is the mind that demands an action, that wants to do something, that feels the running thoughts in the mind. So that is asking the question. So in order to solve that riddle, we say, be aware of the neck joint. We don't need it. Fact is that we don't need it. So keep on checking. On a given day, you will find that you don't need it. On the other day, you will find that you need it. So when you need it means it is the mind living in the ignorance. So looking at the neck joint, being there. What I said, being there. I don't say do something. You're just aware of the neck joint. What is the neck joint? It is the name and the form. Did your mind recall, oh, it's a false? But no, I have to remove the doubt. The moment I look, I'm there with the neck joint. I experience the sensation, comfort, and steadiness. I've already moved too far from the neck joint. Sensation, comfort, and steadiness. And then I moved into the space. Did I move into the space and the space is already there? You're contemplating and reflecting. Non-practice means it's a conscious contemplation and reflection. So you are not trying to remove the discomfort, you are going into the ultimate cause to transcend. So when your mind explores internally through awareness, you will find that you transcend pain, you transcend all these joints, transcend. Look at, I said, be aware of the shoulder joints, being there. You're just being there, you're doing nothing. Then you experience sensation, comfort, and steadiness that does not remain forever with reference to the shoulder joint. So you have an awareness that this is also false. What is left there is the space, darkness or emptiness. Was the emptiness not there before? It was there. But mind was so much engaged and attached and identified with the body, I could not see it. That is how, in the mind, contemplation and reflection works. The entire body. Body is also a name. Whether I say Ashok or Brandy, it doesn't matter. The moment I said body is also a name. And it has a form. So when we say body, become aware of the body, so you are aware of the name and the form. And then reflect on it. Contains trillions of cells. Be very clear. It is not that masters are forcing you to agree. No. Masters are saying to explore. Are you aware this body stands steady because of the trillions of the cells are organized intelligently with the support of the mind? Then also you can you easily experience sensation, comfort, and steadiness also. That is okay. You experience the mirage water, but the knowledge proves false. How simple it is. Our experience is negated because in the presence of a right knowledge, there is no water in the mirage. So you are experiencing sensation, comfort, and steadiness in the body. And then we are aware of this space. So why I always say in this journey that be aware of the space, as if the mind sees nothing now. So there you are waiting. That is okay. But the mind doesn't stop there, so it has the lane number one of unwanted, unwelcome thoughts. Thought is also a matter. It's matter. It is inert consciousness. Sentiency is given to a thought by consciousness. Otherwise, every thought written in the book will become conscious. The thought by itself is not conscious. It's a matter. Because mind is a matter. And whatever is a matter consists of parts. I gave you only a simple example of lane 1, 2, and 3. Millions and trillions of the thoughts, feeling, past impressions, experiences are stored there. And just by one power of the wisdom, you drop all the thoughts. What is that power of the wisdom? Am I the mind? No. Instead of controlling the thought, instead of regulating, instead of thinking, let me think of the right thought and the wrong thought and the moral and the immoral and the ethical and the non-ethical, and you simply drop. Thoughts are constantly changing, feeling and experience is changing. Mind wants to claim that it is carrying us, but it is carrying through the past impression, wrong notions and ideas. It keeps its unwanted, unwelcome journey of the thoughts. It is false. False does not mean that you stop thinking. I told you before, this is neighbor's house and this is my house. So when the moment you say it's a neighbor's house, you negated it. It does not mean you destroyed the neighbor house. Why I am emphasizing, because we should have a clarity. The mind forcibly wants you to destroy, control, suppress the thought. No control, no suppression, just an awareness. That is the meaning of thoughts are coming and going. Thoughts are staying in the mind. Let them come, let them go, because behind there is a recognition. What is coming and going is not me. It is the false. It is, you have given a label, this, not I am. So simple, very easy. To say easy is to insert this journey. Even it has nothing to do with easy. It is so natural. Again, if you say it is natural, even saying natural is also neither. You are just aware. Awareness is there. That is why I say it is a non-practice. You are not doing anything. But the mind imposes its false notion that I am the doer, I am doing. Can I say awareness of the body? Awareness of the body with a recognition. You know what I wanted to say. With an experience of sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Being carefree means you are free from all the cares the mind does. Mind itself is a matter. How it can care me? In the field of awareness, we recognize the world itself is constantly changing, including the body, the thought, and the mind. So to recognize and settle in the mind what is this is constantly changing. Buddha said, keep looking at the breath. Do not change the rate and the rhythm of the breath. Why I said so, do not change the rate and the rhythm of the breath, because you have to do nothing. You're just looking, you're just aware. After all, we are conscious. Look at another perspective of the wisdom here. We say or we recognize the breath is going in and the breath is coming out. You are not the doer of the breath. Breath is going in, breath is coming out. From our normal transaction, it looks okay. When I said the breath is going in and breath is coming out. But from the Eastern wisdom perspective, we contemplate. We have a doubt when you said breath is going in. What do you mean by it? Become aware. Breath is going in, what it means is the breath going in the body or going within me? Or when the breath is coming out, it is going out of the body, or body is not me, obviously. I am not the body. First level of recognition. Second level of recognition, body is not one, contains trillions of the cells, and at last the energy. Is this the energy? Body energy is different from this breath? You see, you have to raise the doubt. And doubt means question, means contemplation and reflection. Why? To remove the false notion. The body is also the energy. Energy has no shape. So is this breath which I had a notion it is moving in and out, is it moving in a parallel line? That withdrawal of the mind is felt in all types of meditation, which brings an experience of what we say a sense of bodilessness. Sometimes you say, I'm totally absorbed, I transcended the body. That we can get it by knowledge. Is the breath going in and out? So, first question and answer is yes, it appears. We do not confirm until we are sure. It appears as if the breath is going in the body and coming out of the body. Then we are clear. Is nothing but the energy itself. Every cell is energy. What appears the bone as a solid is the fact that it is energy. What to talk of the skin and the cell? Bone itself is a cell. So is this breath which I experience the way I experience the mirror's water? Knowledge is totally different. I'm giving you a parallel analogy. What do you mean? Is this breath? There is definitely a change. That's why there is a movement. Does it raise a question about the birth and the death? We have such a strong notion about the birth and the death, physiological death and the brain death. I'm not confirming, but I'm just asking you to raise a question. Is the incoming and the outgoing breath, so-called incoming and so-called outgoing, is it a fact? Is the mirage water a fact? Body is the one superimposition over the consciousness. Breath is another superimposition over the consciousness. Mind is another superimposition. And that I am and the pure consciousness is always free. The way I get the knowledge, it's not mirrors water there. Can I also become aware or have the knowledge this body, breath, mind, thoughts are nothing but superimposition over the pure consciousness? Then only we can live from moment to moment. What is superimposed is always changing, and we are 100% sure. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your awareness on the right hand. Bring your awareness on the left hand. Lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes. Open the eyes inside the palms, know your experiences, and bring the hands down. How are you, Stephen?
Good, very good. And today was interesting because I've always told you that I really enjoy Saturdays, and I always talk about the stirring of my contemplation and reflection, and I think I could finally articulate why I like Saturdays so much, and it's because you give us a reset for the week, and it for me it brings me back to the blank canvas, and then from there it stirs the intellect that creates this contemplation reflection. And today, what I'm walking away from this is that it's like when you look at things in life that is this massive undertaking, it becomes overwhelming. So if you could break everything down to its parts and understand it on a smaller level, it's much easier to grasp. So in this, it's like we're all trying to find real self. And real self is representative of peace, happiness, truth, and wisdom. That means everything else is false. So the importance of is to negate all that other stuff. So if you measure anything that goes on, like, oh, I have to do this next week and it's going to make me anxious, well, that's not peace, that's not happiness, that's not truth, and that's not wisdom. So that is not me. That's not I am. That's not self. That's not pure consciousness. So I got to negate it and let it all go. And it just all became really clear today by doing all of that. So when you used the example, the pains and aches of the body, they exist. We feel them, but it's not peace. It's not happiness. It's
Yeah.
not truth. It's not wisdom. Therefore, I'm not the body.
Beautiful way that you have explained. The contemplation and reflection should continue. Another point that you brought up, that you break up in the parts. First thing, to maintain your recognition. Anything that is broken into the part is false. Second thing that we miss it, if it is false, then we should suppress it, we should control it, we should remove it. No. Because our applied life, our material life, our action is based on the body, breath, mind, intellect, and the ego. But there is a recognition that this is false. What I said it again, there is a recognition that mirrors water is false. Where the recognition is, it is in the mind. It drops all your anxiety and duality and a conflict, unnecessary bickerings of the mind. So the mind can easily reflect the pure consciousness. Beautifully said, Stephen. Thank you. How are you, David and Jerry?
Thank you. Yeah, I love, excuse me, I love Saturdays for similar to what Stephen says about the reset, but I think today I could just describe it as simple but extremely powerful is my words.
Beautiful. Yes. When we move our mind into that level of awareness, it appears so powerful. Otherwise, it looks so simple. Mirrors water, but I have a knowledge, it is not there, but I still see it. So it doesn't mean that we need to suppress. I gave an example that, no, this is not my house, neighbor's house. It does not mean that I have to destroy my neighbor's house in order to reach to me. So that brings a lot of confusion. When you feel powerful, obviously you got it. How are you, Jerry?
Sir, I'm good, thank you. I really appreciate the recap too, the recap of these chapters and lessons. So that was really great to bring it all together. And I know I'm clear of what's changing. So I'm clear of the thoughts that they'll continue to keep changing and coming and going. And then I'm clear of the body continuously changing. And then I'm also clear of what's not changing. And I'm settled there.
Beautiful. Yes. The moment we have to become extraordinary aware of what is constantly changing, there is only one thing that is not changing. And that is what I am. That is the remainder. What remains? Can I maintain that awareness throughout the day? Means we are already there. Thank you, David and Jerry. How are you, Terry? Where is Terry? I don't see Terry. Oh, here you are. Yeah.
I'm good. Yes, I was just aware the whole time of the of what is changing and what is not changing. The breath exchanging, the lungs filling up, exchanging the oxygen with the blood. It's a little engine that keeps the body going. It's doing it itself, and I'm aware of it. At the same time, I know the body is changing. It's going to continue to change. On Monday, I have to go have two teeth pulled, but that's not today.
That's not to do.
Yeah, so I'll go. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. And whatever's happening now is happening now.
That's
And
a great
feel
statement. Good.
Yeah.
That is the journey of East and West. It is going to happen and happen. I want to add, when you say the breath is going into the lungs, the lung is also changing. And the lung is nothing but the parts.
Sometimes I don't think I have any thoughts. And then I'm only thinking what you're saying. Those are only thoughts I'm aware of. So you're putting them in my mind. But then when you're silent, I realize that there are some that I'm maybe just not aware of them.
It is happening. It will happen.
Yeah, it happens.
You are moving in a right direction.
Yeah, and then sometimes I just laugh for no reason. Like,
Yes.
this
journey is always laughing and the smiling and the peace.
Yeah.
Very good. How are you, Brandy?
Good, thanks. It was really useful for me going into the meditation today to hear you say that the comfort's already there. It's always there because it was right there, like it always is. Yeah. And then when you were talking about the breathing, my mind tried to get involved and tell me that the lungs weren't breathing. And I was like, I heard you say that's just the mind, the lungs are breathing. You're fine. It was just kind of interesting to watch. But still very calm, still very absorbed.
Still very beautiful. You see that gradually what happens through the contemplation, reflection. I told you why we do it, to remove the doubt. And the third part, that why we constantly wants to get absorbed into these principles, to remove the false notion. So doubt and the false notion. And the first step is the knowledge. So first, even the knowledge comes to that the breath is going into the lungs. So when we contemplate and reflect, the lung is also is keep on changing. It is also consists of same thing, the matter. Matter consists of electron, proton, and neutron. They consist of the energy. So ultimately, we come to the energy. Energy does not have any shape and the form. Then who am I? What remains is who am I? And that is nothing but the consciousness. So the entire journey is nothing but the mirage water. But I know inside who am I. That is the beautiful. How are you, Ashok sir?
Thank you, sir. I'm good. And it was very peaceful and relaxing. And always remembering the lane 1, 2, and 3. So most of the time I was in 2, but sometimes it was in lane 1 as well during the day. But I recognize in which lane I am. So that helps me to go into the lane 2 or 3. So it's
Yes.
good.
Recognition simply means you are contemplating and reflecting.
Yes,
and that very contemplation and reflection is negating it. I keep looking at the mirage water and I know here it is Arizona, and what the mind stucks immediately, it is not water. Finished. How are you, Sam?
Good. Was following your voice, which then just trailed off, and I was completely absorbed. and very peaceful.
Very peaceful. Good. Yeah. Total absorption also indicates a deeper state. The mind has gone deeper. So again, there is an understanding. We will talk about it. When we say we are totally absorbed, we have dropped the doubt, we have dropped the false notion. That is the only thing. When we say there is nothing like a cave inside, so that we are traveling, we take a one round of the entire earth, we cover a distance. When I say move your mind in the cave of your heart, it has nothing to do with it. It's a symbolic. We will understand that part. So, two people left? No, once. Yeah, two. Samir, how are you?
Sir, I was lying down and the consciousness was flowing all over my body, and I felt that in between it was a beautiful experience, that I felt that I am totally different from the body. And I was looking at my body and listening to you and looking at my thoughts, and I was deep into it. And it was
Good.
really relaxing, and means I totally enjoyed the session.
Very good. Yeah. When we have that kind of a separation, that is the power of the discernment. Wonderful. How are you, Vaibhav? Vaibhav is left here.
Thank you, sir. It was good. I was absorbed, very peaceful. It's like that in that awareness, I'm able to drop the impurities and like able to make myself mind clear actually. It was like mental state was very clear and very calm.
Yes. Yeah, that's another expression when the mind is clear, or you can say we have purified the mind, we have recognized the purified state of the mind. Then the knowledge is very clear to us. Knowledge is very clear. So beautiful. Please continue the journey until we reach there and set an example. You need not to set an example, but you just live your life. That naturally helps other people to reflect on that. It is not that, oh, yes, Terry. I don't hear you.
Sorry. It's more like a comment. If everything is like a mirage, it's interesting that it still makes a difference what we do. That's what
we do. What we do is also a mirage, because you are not a doer.
Yeah, but then the karma thing, it makes it like we have to not do bad things.
No, the
It's a mirage. It still has an effect in that world.
It's a wonderful comment, and I want to add that then what happens when everything is a false and everything is a mirage, then you play with it. Then you are not a doer. You are a whole actor. You play your role. I played my role as a teacher, and now the role of a teacher is gone. Just finished. So every time it is a play and a fun.
Yes.
So the entire life becomes a play and fun in terms of thought, speech, and action on the surface of the consciousness, while the consciousness remains as it is, unchanging.
But then you are also affecting all of us in a good, positive way. And that's a energy that has an effect in some way in you.
Definitely.
Interesting.
Very good. Thank you very much. We will meet again.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Namaste.
Namaste, everyone.
Namaste.
I will close it.